Hey guys, tonight's guest on the show is a guy I used to go to school with, Adam Bashir. He's going to talk about property investment. How's yourself, Adam, first of all?
I'm good, mate. Blair, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Um, so what have you kind of been up to since you've left school? Like,
Right, so I'll just take you back to when when I left, but just for people that don't know, me and Blair went to the same primary school together. Didn't we? We used to play football, gear that he does on the pitch,
right,
all
aye.
sorts. But I so left school. Then I went from school. I went straight into uni after 6 year. I went to GCU. I studied mechanical electronic systems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we got to about second year, and I started thinking, right, okay, it's hard to get a job. This is before COVID, even before anyone knew what COVID was. But
Mm-hmm.
even then, people are thinking, right, how am I going to get a job? It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of competition out there. So I spoke to a guy, one of my dad's mates, his son. He worked in civil engineering. He recommended that I go and do a placement, like a 12-month industrial placement,
Yeah, yeah.
where I'd be doing. You learn, so you get paid like it's like minimum wage, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
experience you've got on your CV, and then when you're going for a job later on, it's good for you. So I thought, rather than doing a masters, which most people would say is, it makes it easier for getting a job. I
Mm-hmm.
thought, I'll work, I'll get some practical experience, I'll learn the industry from the inside. That way, I'll have something to talk about, interviews and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So applied for Rolls-Royce, BA Systems, a few other places. I think even Babcock actually I might have applied for,
Right.
but I also applied for Jaguar Land Rover, and I was quite excited about that. But it was down in, it was advertised as down in the Midlands,
Mm-hmm.
which is like 5 hour drive, and I'm a family person. I like to be around my family in Glasgow and that,
Same,
but
mate. Aye.
I thought, what, I'll have that one as a reserve in case I don't get any of the local ones.
Yep.
So didn't get any of the local ones. Got knocked back off all of them. Jaguar Land Rover, they invited me to assessment day, went through it, got in with them, done a year in there, and we launched. I ended up actually working in Liverpool in the Halewood plant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like kind of away from the rest. Most of their plants are in the Midlands, but they've got that one up in Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for 12 months. Helped to launch the Range Rover Evoque. I don't know if you've seen it, the 19 plate, the one with it looks like the Velar, the Range Rover Velar. It's kind of similar
Sunk,
shape, a
sunk,
more compressed.
sunken handles and stuff.
Yeah, the handles pop out, they
Yeah.
retract, and yeah, that those ones, they can actually get through, I think, 3 or 4 mil of ice or something like that.
Right.
If it's frozen, people are worried about that. What if it gets frozen? How's it going to open? But they do break through ice. Fun fact for you.
Sweet.
But anyway, I learnt a lot, met a lot of good people down there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still in contact with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed that, and then came back into uni, back into studying, taking notes, going to lectures,
Right.
and then realizing, like, hold on, it actually gave me a lot of confidence when being in classes, because I realized I can do the job, and it was a difficult
Mm-hmm.
job I got. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of in charge of the electronics and the electrical launch of that car,
Mm-hmm.
like to kind of manage the different, sections, the different
Yep.
departments, and kind of get make sure that everything goes right and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mm-hmm.
tests.
Yep.
But I so that's gave me the confidence to, when I was studying, graduated with, well, saying that actually I got to fourth year, and then um, I was kind of panicking a wee bit because my dissertation project wasn't going well. I made some quite critical errors when I was designing. I was designing like a wee helicopter, like a 2 degree of freedom helicopter. I was building it. I designed it on CAD, built it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we got it built. But the drawings weren't right. I'd done a bad job of
Mm-hmm.
it. It put me in kind of a para state. I was a bit worried about, what's going to happen. Am I going to fail or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Then COVID happened, and mate, it saved me. Like, that's one of one of the good
Mm-hmm.
things that's came out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It saved me from, because I was able to then just do more of a theory based
Mm-hmm.
approach, and then even with like my exams, like, they were all online. I don't know about
Mm-hmm.
yourself, but
Mate,
mine, they're
none.
all online. So.
I just missed it, man. I just honestly see I graduated June 2019. So June
No, oh,
20.
oh, right.
So I graduated June 2019. So
That's right. Yeah.
I done chemical and process engineering at Strathclyde. For those of you who don't know, but I started my first year when I left school. I done it at college. So the only college that done it was in Falkirk at Forth Valley. So I
Oh,
commuted. I
right.
commuted every like it was only 4 days a
What?
week. Only commuted every day, and then if you got above a certain grade, you got into was it Strathclyde at second,
Strathclyde.
Strathclyde at second
Right.
year. So I done second, and I like to be honest, I wasn't really see with exams and stuff. I wasn't really the best at it. I was more like the
Mm,
project stuff and that I was quite good at.
mm.
So
Right.
I just ended up powering through, and then after fourth year, I was like, "Is there much merit in staying on for a masters?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, if you're not enjoying it," and I got a 2-2, and then got a job like just like the August. So like it worked out all right because I know a lot of people like graduated with a masters from my year last year,
Yeah.
and they were like,
Uh,
yeah, we've not got any. But
aye.
I like you were saying,
I
so
mean that.
did
Yeah.
you just graduate just there? Yeah.
So because I missed kind of I took that year out. So we're obviously the same age. We left
Yeah.
school at the same time, but so we both done like kind of 5 years in education.
Mm-hmm.
One of mine was oh sorry no you done 4 years in fact. So that's how you graduated a year before me because
Yeah.
um because I went away. But
Yeah.
I've just graduated there. I didn't get a ceremony. So you must have had your robe and all that in the
Yeah, I
scroll.
did.
Did you get a me gutted? Absolutely gutted. I had a plans. I was gonna get cigars. I was gonna buy a new suit, and oh mate, I had grand plans for it. But
Oh man,
that's
I feel for
oh
you.
well.
I feel for you guys because there was a few people that I knew that stayed on that didn't get it, and then especially
Yeah.
I was gonna come, but like this sort of graduation sort of ball. I was gonna come back for
Oh
that.
right, yeah.
Luckily, I booked a room that was just I did like it was like I can't. It was just it was something like 20 quid or something. But I was
Uh,
like, in the grand scheme of things, like I'm not fussed if I don't get it back, sort of thing. But I
aye.
got I didn't pay it all in advance. It would have been like 90 quid room or something.
Oh, I know, mate. I
Just
know.
don't get it.
But that's not even like we're talking about the ceremonies and that. But really, the real issue that a lot of people are facing now is just the lack of jobs because of what's happened. It was hard enough before, wasn't it? But now with like COVID, like companies are on the defensive and that, and they're like,
100%.
I mean, we're lucky. We're in a company that's kind of there a lot of in defence and a lot of like essential services. You know what I mean? But in the
Yeah.
private sector, people are struggling. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to get work.
Defos, man. Obviously, aye. So, like, sort of obviously working from Babcock. Whereabouts in Babcock did you work? What's that sector?
So I'm actually still working there.
Are you?
I'm
Right.
working in yeah. So I work in. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say because I signed a document, but I work in the naval nuclear. So
Right.
um, that's
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Are
So
you are you over the Sifeway?
um, it's not. It's on the other side.
Oh wait, yeah, no, you'll be Helensburgh.
Aye,
Yeah,
Helensburgh.
right.
Yeah, it's
Right,
Helensburgh,
okay.
but yeah, I mean, it's just for security reasons. We're not supposed to talk about it
Yeah.
too much. But I could just tell you in like
Tell us
so
at a
I'm on
high
a
level,
graduate.
like what you like.
So I'm on a graduate scheme. So I've been there since September. It's been 6 months. So every 6 months we change. We switch to a different role. So this is next week. Well, it was meant to be this week, but it's delayed. It's been delayed. So hopefully next week I'll be working in a different department. So the one I'm in now is like in amongst the action basically. So working with your fitters, mechanical fitters, electrical fitters, specialists, multi-skilled operators, the people actually delivering the work, the grafters basically, overalls getting
Yeah.
dirty, high vis, all that. So I enjoy that though. I love that. That's one of the things that at Jaguar I never really got to do. Was more office.
More
There's a lot of
design.
walking
You
about.
done designing stuff with Jaguar and
It,
stuff like
it was manufacturing, but
that.
it
Right.
wasn't like actually me putting my. It's not me putting my hands on things, but it was more management of the manufacturing,
Right.
and
Okay.
dealing with issues and the kind of corporate side of it. It wasn't, they don't really get us working hands on.
Right,
But down here, I've been fortunate enough to actually take part in stuff. Like I've took apart like valves and things like that with the guys obviously supervising and stuff like that. And I said to like my manager, I says I want to work a bit. I want to work on the tools a wee bit. And he's like, go on, get your hands dirty, get in there and enjoy it, learn as much as you can. And that's what I've been doing. So I'm just trying to learn as much as I can.
Good stuff. Good. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to obviously LGE, liquid gas engineering side of the business.
Oh right. I've not heard much. That's what you're right. So whereabouts are you based?
So I'm based in Rosyth. So
right.
So like, see, for me working from home, pretty much all my job is design based. So we design for ships in Korea and China and stuff.
Oh, right.
It doesn't get built over in Rosyth, but see, for me, working from home, it's so chill. It's like,
mate, I'm choking for that. I'm choking to work from home because I've been on site every day since September. I've a few days I've been working from home with this new lockdown. But I mean, we're kind of expected to be there because we're asking the people to come in, obviously, that we're managing. So it doesn't look good if we're sitting at home and saying on the phone, here, go and do that. But so hopefully my next placement will be like that, working from home. But so were you ever travelling there to Rosyth then?
Yeah.
You must have been at the start. It's about an hour, isn't it?
It's about an hour door to door. In the morning you can get it all right. Like we usually do a car share, and there's like a guy from Bishop Briggs, guy from Denniston, and a guy from Govan. We just take turns and just.
Oh, that's all right.
Over. We just sort of drive each week, sort of thing. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we did at the start, but obviously because of COVID, it's not ideal, but it's the same. It's about an hour to where I was working, where I've been working. Working from home is a lot of people complain about it. And they say, "Oh, I want to be in the office. I want to go and see people." And I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, would you rather sleep in or go and talk to somebody about fucking about whatever? You know what I mean? It's like that. Is that kind of because you can well, yeah, it depends.
I had a sort of internship with Jaguar Land Rover.
Oh, yeah.
That's I suppose you managing the Evoque, the 19-plate Evoque through the manufacturing stage is quite good. I mean, see when I done internships at a company called Star Refrigeration.
Oh, do you know Craig? Do you know Craig? Craig, he was doing it there, a boy called Craig. I met just down in Thornley Bank, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if I met Craig, but I did a few internships there, and I remember one of them was literally like, do you know Declaration of Conformity? There's like a document sort of thing for like pieces of equipment,
right?
For the DOC.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was
It
was basically like legislation thing, but I was basically chasing up suppliers to get the most recent version of it. It was grim. It was grim. But like,
I know exactly. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But I know that's so. Is that all you done? Did they not let you see anything more hands on?
They had a factory in the place, but it was more you're just sort of doing design jobs rather than just out in the shop floor, which was quite.
So do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy that, the design stuff? Or would you rather be in manufacturing where?
It's all right. Like, I mean, I would quite like a bit of both. I quite like a job like it's a bit operations and it's a bit sort of desk job sort of thing. A wee bit of like a mix would be nice,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what mine is like now. It's a bit of both. Because I'm not really a fan of being sitting at a desk all day. It's just not good for my body. I don't think I'm just too tall for it, mate. I just can't. I know, but it's like I like to. It just makes your day go quicker as well. I think if you split it up, if you're out a wee bit more than that, and you can like meet people and talk to them face to face, it's. Because I mean, you obviously like to talk as well.
Yeah,
you see, like you're kind of you're that kind of person, and so that's I mean, see with Babcock, there's so many opportunities like to move about. They do so many different things, so like they definitely have like something where you could do more of that. Or are you happy with what you're doing now?
I'm all right. Like, it's good. It's like, see what I learned at uni. It was mostly the stuff that I learned at uni that I'm applying, which is decent. But
Right.
like, I wasn't really in the scheme, the graduate scheme. I was more like a direct
Oh,
employee
right.
graduate sort of thing.
Oh, right. All right. Aye, so that's so then you get put into one role then, and then there's no movement.
Pretty much, there's limited movement. It's maybe just
Ah,
movement
right.
around the company, but limited movement.
Yeah. Well, it's a good that energy it's energy
Energy Marine.
gas and energy.
Like LGE.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's good.
LG, right? That's a good one.
Nah, that's good. I also seen sort of during lockdown you were working in Fernhill Grocers as well.
Aye, that's
videos,
you've done your homework, mate. That's I'll tell you about Fernhill Grocers. If anyone's in that area, Fernhill, Castlemilk, Rutherglen, you probably know about it. But if you don't know about it, go up and see it. It's Auchinlery Drive. I can't even remember the postcode, but just type up Fernhill Grocers and you'll find it on Google. So that's my dad's shop, right? We've been there for as long as I've been alive. So
yeah.
I think it was 1997. My dad bought that shop, and it was a pit. There was no counter. There was bread baskets. There was bread baskets where they were using as a counter to serve people on. Right? It was a state. The previous owner was a bit of a cowboy. He used to fight with everyone. He never got on with the locals, and eventually they just ran him out of there. And my dad took over. He built it up slowly over the years, and then the council done like a regeneration project up in Fernhill, where they knocked down a lot of the old flats and they built new housing, and they built a full new row of shops. So we got moved across the road, and then they built a nice new community centre there. So the area is actually it's got a lot better than it used to be. I mean, back in the days, Castlemilk obviously is just. Fernhill's just up the road from there, and Castlemilk was I don't know if you know, but it was the biggest council scheme in Europe at a time. I think it was in the 90s or something like that. A lot of crime, a lot of drugs, and there still is to an extent, but I mean it's Fernhill anyways got a lot better. But it was lockdown, and the first lockdown happened, and as you know, like the shelves are getting emptied in Tesco's, toilet rolls flying off the shelves, people are going nuts, picking up 10 tins of beans and all that. But we still had plenty of stock because we've always just kept. We buy in bulk and kind of hold on to it, because we're fortunate enough to have a lot of storage at the back. So we had loads of stock, and I said people kept coming in and saying, "Oh, you've got plenty of stock." I'm going to tell my pal, my sister, and all that. And then I said to my brothers, like, hey, people don't even know. Other people don't even know. Like in the surrounding areas don't know. So I said, let's make a video, right? Let's get it on Facebook. So I've just walked around the shop, started just basically just talking, just showing everyone what we've got, and people started. It went nuts. People started sharing it and liking it and all that, and it got to I think it's about 14,000 views or something like that. Is it 14 or is it 4? Mate, hold. Let me just check. I'll just confirm. Can you check that? Can you just check that? Hold on. I'm just going to get a check on that, right? And I'll tell you. I mean, it got a lot of views. People were sharing it, and after that, we just started trying to do them a bit more regularly, updating people with all the COVID guidelines and that. And we got. I mean, see during that time, that first lockdown, there's a lot of good people that helped. A guy called 13,000 views confirmed there. So there's a lot of good people. A guy called Benny who worked for C Hanlon. I don't know if you know that company.
Yeah, but it's a plumbing company, and
it's a plumbing company, right?
Yeah, that is actually see when I done my placements in Star, that was right next. That was kind of quite near it.
Oh, is that right? Aye, so they had this gun. A lot of people do it now, but it's for cleaning. It was used for cleaning bird shite off roofs, basically. Yeah. But they tested the chemical
thing, the super soaker thing.
It looks like a water gun, mate, but I think it's a bit more complicated. Complicated than that. I never got a shot of it, but it's like it sprays like a vapor, like a mist, some sort of mad chemical that is proven to kill the coronavirus. And so he came in, he got permission for his company to do it for free. He sprayed the full shop down, and he's just a good guy, Benny. He done a lot for us. And then we had other people that were, we were kind of giving out food parcels to like the vulnerable, like the elderly, and people that couldn't get out of the house. And there was a lot of people helping with that as well, that were delivering the packages. We were kind of putting. We were raising money from the community, and also putting in out of our own pockets, paying for these food parcels. But it was hard for a lot of people. But I think we got a mention as well in the paper in that Glasgow Times. I think we were it was like coronavirus heroes. I can't remember what number it was, but we were up there about 30 or 40 odd. But I mean, it's just nice to get a wee mention. I've been working there since I was a wee boy, since I was about 10. About 10 years old, I've been working with my dad, and so I've always been interested in business, always been interested in working for myself. So I've kind of started before. I don't know if you've seen the car wash, and I was doing car valet and like mobile.
I
was doing that at the mobile auto spa. You may have seen it. I got t-shirts and that made. But
I seen. Was it not one with like a Rolls Royce or something? You cleaned a Rolls Royce. It may have been in your Insta.
No,
maybe a different.
That was nothing. That was just me. That was just me flexing with somebody else's car. That was not. I never cleaned that. I done a couple of nice cars. I done an Audi TTS. That was probably the nicest car I done. But I mean, I was doing that. Like just in between, like just after the Christmas holidays in my last year of uni. I was thinking, like, if I don't get a job, I'm not going to be sitting on the sofa. I'm not going to, I don't want to do a minimum wage job. I'd rather do something for myself. And I was sitting with a few pals and just talking about it, and that's kind of the idea that I came up with to do that. So I just started doing it, mate. I started going door to door, and I started advertising on Facebook, and it took off for a while. But then COVID came, and then it was a lockdown, and then that's kind of when I found out about the job. The job I was getting, the graduate job, I got confirmed. So that kind of took a bit of the motivation away, because I'm like, right, okay, I've got a job now. I'm not really going to be going out washing cars on the weekends, and like doing that. It doesn't make sense because I'll be earning like a decent wage off them. So I mean, that was kind of my backup option. You gonna say something?
Sorry. Sorry, I always kind of think as well, like, you've sort of, I said this to my sister tonight, right? I always sort of refer back to, see, when I was working for Babcock, I sometimes done swimming lessons on the weekend. So I during uni, I done swimming lessons for like Nuffield Health. So
you taught them, or you taught swimming?
Taught swimming. So I done. I used to do them at the weekend, and it would get you a free gym membership. So by the end of it, it was good. So by the end of it, I wasn't really doing it for the money. I was just doing it for the gym membership. Obviously when I had the job, but then I said to myself, right, every Sunday morning I'm doing this, but at the same time I was kind of like, if I just leave, it gives someone else the opportunity to pick up the job that I had that's in uni. So it kind of leaves them a sort of space, I suppose.
That's a good way of thinking about it. But enough feels nice. I joined that about 3-4 months before this lockdown started. So I was enjoying it. Is it Giftnick?
It was
that one. So I was getting right into that, mate. The jacuzzi and all that, and the sauna and steam room, because I used to go to Pure Gym, and then so I joined there for a bit more like of a like luxury experience. But but now I'm thinking, see, when it opens up again, I kind of don't want to be in jacuzzis with people anymore, like in saunas and steam rooms and stuff like that. So I think I might just go back to the Pure Gym. But so then I done Shawlands, the one in the arcade where Woolworths used to be.
I done the complete reverse of you. I went from Giftnock, Nuffield, to Shawlands Pure Gym. I'm at
Yeah,
Pure Gym Shawls.
yeah. Yeah, I still feel a bit. I've always felt a bit funny about Pure Gym because the one in Shawlands because Woolworths used to be there, and that was my favourite shop, and fucking gutted, mate. Just gutted.
I know.
But no, Pure Gym's good, mate. See for the money you pay, it's like was it 15, £20 or something like that. You can go, you can get up at 3 in the morning and go for a session whenever you want. So it's handy that way. Not the best facilities like for having a shower and stuff like that. That's probably You go to Nuffield and it's like they've got like 5 changing rooms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like 5 like the wee and then obviously you get other stuff. But I basically I kind of packed in the car washing, right? I've still got my pressure washer and all that, but I don't even use it. I don't even wash my own car anymore. That's actually how I got into it. Like I started washing my own car. I just because the weather was good and I enjoyed it, and then I started doing it for other people. I
think there's some pride you've got to take in washing your own car. So like, when I was I was sitting in the house. I was like, what am I gonna do today? I was like, I'm gonna wash the cars. And like, actually go like, you see when you wash it and then you do I did the alloys the next day because the neighbours were like non-stop talking. And then I done the alloys the next day and then just done like the interior and everything. And then you go out and take it a drive. It's just something good about that. There's something good about it.
It feels like a new car. It feels like a new car when you do it, especially when you take your time with it as well. And I know a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't even know this until I started, and other people started telling, like professional detailers started telling me stuff like, the sponges, the yellow sponges, you shouldn't use them on your car because they can scratch and leave like swirl marks, and they can actually damage your paint. Over time, it can actually damage the paint. I don't know if you've seen it, like they look at mops, the microfiber things.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a mop as you put on. It's like a matte washing mitt there. You should really use those if you are going to wash yourself. A lot of the car washers use them now. Actually, I've noticed that they've all started using it because it's better for the paint and stuff like that.
Yeah. So obviously, having your own sort of car valet business when you were sort of before COVID and stuff. So did you sort of coming into the fair home buyers sort of business? Is that sort of how you sort of developed that sort of like, I want to have something of my own sort of thing?
It's the same. It's the same idea. I've known that since I was, mate. Since as long as I can remember, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for myself because obviously my dad's been self-employed all his life as well. Well, since about 16, 17, 18, that age, he was working for himself. So it's just kind of what I've been brought up about. But he's always kind of encouraged me to work, get a steady job, and then build the other stuff on the side. And that's what I'm doing now. So I've got about a year ago I went with, do you remember Jason Gray?
Jason Gray, yeah. Wait, what's he doing with himself?
Jason's doing good as well, buddy.
Is he not like a petroleum engineer?
He studied that. He's still kind of looking for I think an engineering job, but I think now he's working. He's getting paid. He's getting paid quite well. I'm not sure exactly what it was he's doing. I think he's like he's working at a hospital. I'm not sure exactly what his role is, but he's doing all right for himself. He's had a wee boy as well.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So me and Jason went to this property event. I seen it on a guy called Paul McFadden. If you're interested in properties, look him up, and anyone who's watching and see have a look at his content and his book. So I bought his book first, and I started reading it, and it's like how you can get involved in property with no money and no experience. And it sounds like a scam, right? But see, I thought, I'll give it a wee read. I had a look at it, and it made sense. See what he's saying, it actually made sense. And then I went and started looking online, searching up deal packaging and what it is. And it's basically when you find a property that's a discounted property, so you're not really going to find it on the market. You have to kind of market off market, basically. So that's what fair home buyers is the aim of that is to find motivated sellers, people who are looking to sell their property quickly and for no fees. So when you're selling your home on the market, you're going to have to pay about from £500 to £1,000 for a home report, because that's the law in Scotland. On the market, you must have a home report, but if you buy off the market, you don't have to have that. Another thing that we're kind of incentive for buying with us is we'll cover all the fees. So like your lawyer's fees, your solicitor's fees, it can be anywhere from about £750. It's expensive, so you're looking at about £2,000 there if you're selling on the market. Just in that's not to account for the time that you're going to have to spend like clearing out and stuff like that. Like, we take the property in any condition. It could be as manky as you like. You leave everything in there. We'll empty it all out, and then so that's the one side of it. That's for where I'm sourcing them, and then I'm looking to get investors on board who are people that are either in property and they've got investors, or they've got their own capital, and I'll trade it to them, and they can just take the deal from there, which is called deal trading. That you make a smaller commission off that, but it's less work. You're just finding the deal and passing it on. Then what we've got is a thing called deal packaging, is where we've got an investor who doesn't have the time or knowledge to invest in property themselves, so they would use someone like me to find them a deal, negotiate, do all the dealings with the solicitor, the mortgage advisor, get everything in place for them, so that they can own a property, get a return on it, but they don't have to take the risk of finding the property. I've done the numbers for them, found a good deal for them, and package it up for them. So I'm just really early, and I've literally just started this a couple of weeks ago. I'm just getting into it, meeting a lot of people, networking, and it's really important. And property has been amazing, like the support you get. It's not like everyone's competing against each other. It's more like it's more of a community, and people they're really supportive, and they're always looking to how they can help, or how if I can help them. It's been good, mate. It's been interesting. So yeah, that all came from reading the book, and then going to that event with Jason. Was in the city centre, and then aye, mate, that's basically how it all started.
That's good, man. That's good. Now I could definitely see, like, I know, like, Jason sometimes sells cars. He used to sell sort of like second-hand cars and stuff on Instagram, so I can kind of see the similarities between you guys, sort of. Like,
Jason's been a grafter, mate, for a long time. Like, we've always had that in common. Like, since we met in second year, and since then, like, we've always got on that way. We still talk every couple of weeks. We're always on the phone, and we're quite close. But he bought a property in Greenock before. Right. I think it was before this. He done a bit of work on it with his brother, and so he's had a bit of experience in it as well. So yeah, it was good. It's good to go out and learn. Other something that's different from what the conventional. The message is, the conventional thing is, go and get a job, go and do your job, play it safe, and just save your money. When you start looking, if you start educating yourself financially, you start seeing that interest rates are so low that if you put your money in the bank, all the money you've got in your bank now is actually going to be worth less, because the interest rates are so low. Like, in the future, I mean, so that's why investing is so important, and that's why I've always been, interested in it.
100%. Obviously, you touch upon, like, you buy the properties before they get on the market. I mean, that's probably quite good for you guys, because the market just now, obviously, me sort of looking out to, like, kind of move out, maybe get a flat or something. The market is terrible, and like, even like, I remember, just like, it's crazy. Like, you get houses that, like, 1-bedroom flats are maybe on at like 130. They sell for like 156. You can, like, buy a new build house for that,
Yeah, it is. It's just the way the market is now, mate. I've been booking viewings with the estate agents, and like a couple of days later, they phone me up and say, "Oh yeah, your viewing that was booked for today. Yeah, the house is the owner's accepted the offer, so they won't be obviously doing the viewing." But it depends where you look, mate. So for if you're looking for it does. It depends where you look. So, are you talking? Where are you looking to move to? If you're
So
what kind of area are you looking in? Local or?
I've kind of, to be honest, I've kind of looked just at south side, so like Sackcliffe, Battlefield,
Yeah.
so I'm in Florida and that.
It's quite dear in these kind of areas. But I mean, if you so, are you looking to move out soon, or are you just having a look?
Well, to be fair, I did put an offer down for a place
All right,
about a month or so ago, but I mean, it was the first offer I'd put in, and I was just way out. Like,
right.
I think I was like, they phoned up and they were like, you were the second lowest bid, but I was like,
Right.
it didn't really bother me though, to be honest.
Ah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like it just means that I just got more time to save. So.
Exactly. I know you're probably in the back of your head. You're probably thinking, "Of that's actually a good thing." Like never, if because but so did you like kind of put a bid in? Was it like what was the numbers like? So was it on offer? What was the like asking price or offers over price?
The offers over was about so it was about 100, and then the home report was 110, and I just put a wee bit over, just a bit over the home report. But it just, as I say, it went for like a lot more.
Yeah, I mean it's the way the market is now. There's statistic that came in yesterday from Zoopla. It was something like buyer demand is like I think it's something like 18% higher this year than it was last year. So I mean, there's more buyers and less sellers. You know what I mean? That's just the way they. So it's not. It depends how you look at it. Like, for like what I'm doing is finding a deal is harder, but there's a lot of demand for a deal. So it's harder. It will be harder to find, but there's a lot of people looking for a good deal. But that's good luck to you, mate. If I see anything that pops up in that area, I'll send it over to you because I've been looking around that area as well, in Florida. Cathcart is nice around there. You get some nice properties, nice flats.
I tell you who's got a flat. Do you know Jack Irvin from Primary?
Yeah, of course I remember Jack Irvin.
But I play in the PS and stuff for him at the weekends. But he's got a place in Gary Street. He got a flat.
Oh right, Garage. Oh right. Oh, how so? When did he move in there?
He moved in sort of September time. So settled in and stuff.
And is he by himself? Is it?
Yeah. I seen it. He's done a flat.
Bachelor.
Yeah.
Oh, is he done up? Good.
Done it up, man.
That's nice, man. That's
decent, good. Decent. Obviously, so just sort of touching on the fair home buyers. So obviously, finances. It kind of just do you just sort of finance it yourself sometimes with buying properties, or do you try and see if there's an investor wanting to invest in what you're trying to buy and sort of do it up to sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'm currently still looking for the first deal. So I've not actually. So as I say, it's very new. So I'm aiming to do is, as I said, the deal trade, where I'll find a property, trade it with another property investor who's got experience, who knows more about it. So I can trade it, make a little bit off it, but I'm not really concerned about that as much as learning and watching his process, see how he manages it, how what steps he takes and how he deals with the investor and stuff like that. That's what that's how I'm kind of looking to start. But also, if I see something that's good and it fits what I'm looking for, then I'm also looking for myself to buy a property. Kind of run down. Then something that needs work. But. It just depends. It just depends if what comes up and if what I find. But my brother's actually bought a property up in. He's bought his house in Mearns. He's bought one up in. Where is it? I think it's actually on Mearns Road. He got that one a few months ago.
Decent.
He's actually the electrician in there now, just wiring it up. Needs a full rewire. And I've kind of learnt a bit of that about how the electrician side, he's kind of told me what's the requirement. So now I actually passed the tests, like the electricity
assessment.
It was it passed, but we kind of looked at it and it looked a bit dated. And some of the obviously the fixtures and fittings, the light switches and stuff like that, sockets, they were looked a bit tired. So we just thought for safety, if because my brother's looking to rent it out.
Mm-hmm.
So for safety, we just got the full rewire done, put some new lights and stuff like that in it, and looking at getting a new kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And they start paint, carpets, and just give it just freshen up a wee bit, and as well as outside landscaping. So that will be good for me to watch, see what to watch the process there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in fourth year, I worked in when we done in school. The work experience week. Remember that?
Yeah.
I done that with. So at that time. My house was getting, family home was getting done up.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting an extension put on, and the builder, I just asked the builder who's doing it. I said, I'm interested in construction in the trades and that, and he took me on for a week. So I kind of learnt a wee bit there. I was only 16, but I picked quite a lot up in that time in that week. Now I wish I spent more time. I went in, I volunteered more at the weekends and just done it for free just to learn more. But at that time you're thinking, why am I going to give my weekend to clean up on a building site? But so that was a good experience actually.
That's good, man. That's good. So obviously, when you're sort of starting off, as you sort of say, you're like, it's almost the sort of short game you're sort of saying. So like, if you see a place, you just kind of want to sell on to sort of an investor just to sort of make a wee bit more capital on it, and then you can sort of build it up to the point where you're just sort of sitting there and like doing up the property yourself and then selling it, sort of thing. So that's a good way to do it. It's almost like you start off small and then sort of work your way up quite big with it.
That's it. Yeah, I'm not trying to rush it and try and take on too much at one time. I'm just learning as much as I can, meeting as many people and doing viewings. And I've been documenting as well on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen I think you liked the video. I was up in the West End. I was up in the West End yesterday.
I seen you all dressed up as well for that. You were dressed up.
Oh mate, no trackies, no Lacoste, no Lacoste, and I'm doing viewings but it's just like it's kind of just kind of went in, done the viewing, made a video, because I've been speaking to a lot of people and everyone says this, like, make content, make videos, talk about what you're doing. And I think doing the Fernhill videos, that's what kind of just gave me confidence and stop caring what people think. See, do you know Gary V? You seen his videos? You follow him?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Gary, just have a look on his page. He's like a big social media guy. Like he does he's got a company called Vayner Media and like Wine Library, and so he's kind of built up a business doing YouTube videos. He was doing it when no one was even on YouTube. He was doing like wine reviews and stuff like that. He built it up he took his dad's business up to like 50 million. Worth of $50 million through using social media. And one thing I've been watching. I've read his book as well called Crush It, one of his books. Mm-hmm. And it's just from that and seeing his content, he's always says like, don't like stop caring what people think. Like you're gonna die, like, and then you're gonna be an old man and you're gonna be sitting saying, "Oh, I could have done that. I wish I'd done that." So, I mean, see a little bit. It's a bit uncomfortable putting even you must feel it as well. See, from when you start this podcast, must be.
I mean.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the first time I done a podcast was, Jordan Black?
Oh, hi, Jordan.
It was his dad. So his dad's a comedian, and I was like, right, okay.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I had a few beers just to sort of calm the nerves, and I done it. It was fine.
Yeah.
And then I just started saying to myself, look here, I'm just going to keep on like going for it, because people in university, like that I done like design projects with and stuff, said, oh, like it's like you need to go, like you should do like podcasts and just like chat about stuff. Like you could even probably make content if you were just filming it by yourself. But I just think like, see, I think it would be hard for me to do like, so obviously like yourself, it's maybe only a minute or a 2-minute video just doing the selfie, start filming it and that. But I think it would be hard for me to just sit in front of a camera and talk for like 20 minutes. I like see with podcasts, I think it's a bit different because you've got that response sort of thing. So, but I suppose with you,
but no, it's
trying to promote that message, so it's like it should be you that's sort of telling it, as it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of just putting. I'm not like trying to be like an expert as well. I'm just trying to just put out what I know, and then hopefully if people can like will see it and message me and say, well, actually, no, this and that, and here maybe you should try this. And it's that's kind of what I'm open to, like learning from people. So I'm open minded as well. I'm not like try to act like I know it all, because I don't. I need to learn. I've got a lot to learn as well. But I mean, you could do that if you wanted to. But I think just keep hammering the podcast out. I'll try and see if there's like any other people that are looking to like build their brand or whatever, and they're wanting to come on, and I'll refer them. But so how do you normally approach people, or do you like how do you kind of get this going? Because I know I approached you for this one and asked if I could come on, but how do you normally do it?
Well, mate, to be honest, you're the first one that's ever approached me, so.
Mate, that's
class. No, but like I usually kind of approach people. So like, I say if someone, I think, for instance, do you know the TikToker Dylan Dooley?
Not familiar.
I guess that's probably you're probably obviously probably using your time like sort of.
Is he from Glasgow?
He's from Glasgow.
Is he from Glasgow? Is he?
So he's from like he was from originally from Tory Glen, and I just basically messaged him and said, "Here, look, for just doing a podcast," and he was like, "Aye, sounds." So I just build like sort of wee talking points, and then just sort of go for it. If we agree in that time, but I mean it's just one of those things, and I always think as well, like, see in school, obviously you touched upon the fact that like one day you're gonna die and you're gonna say, oh, I should have done this and should have done that, but like, you the only thing holding you back was what other people thought of what you were gonna do. I think in school you had that more, so like people are more like, that's not normal. Why is he doing that?
Cool.
Fit in line, like, and then just like when I just sort of left, I was like, who gives a shit? Like.
Exactly, mate. It's like. Mate, it was like people would like, it was like, see, trying to study and try to like do well is like, oh, you're a sack, mate. That's what you get called when you try to do well for yourself, and it's just like you can't let like people with like small, like narrow-minded people get to you, or just anyone that's just affect you. So it's hard, but mate, because I feel it as well. Like when I hear people, especially when it's like family or close people, saying things to you, kind of discouraging you or whatever. It's hard, but you have to just be like just strong mentally and just keep going, just beast it, and have your vision and just stick to it. That's what I think. That's what I think it's all about, mate.
100%. Like, no, totally. I think we were in the same higher maths class, weren't we?
Did we do with Mrs. Munro?
Yeah.
That's right. We were.
Do you not mind? There was like the Saturday. There was the supported math study classes, and then
I was there every week.
I only showed up for one on like a Tuesday night, and Big Mr. McAllister came in and was like, oh, this is absolutely shocking. Like, only one person showed up, and I'm just sitting there in the corner. Like, please don't mention my name. Yeah. I just showed up because I was like, this stuff's hard. Like, and then and do you mind, he was like, oh, Miss Monroe will be like, she'll be glad to get at least five A's out of this class of 30. And you're like, even that, see when that got said, I was like, nah, I'm proving that wrong. I'm just like, I didn't get an A, but I mean, I was like, it was motivation.
That was only I got an A maths somehow.
Oh, did you?
It's the only one I got. It's the only one I got. Proud of it.
Good stuff, man. Good.
But
Anyway,
yeah.
Adam, last sort of question of the podcast. I ask this sometimes. You might guess, what would your last ever meal be?
Like if I'm on like death row or something, is that?
Yeah. So like,
the last.
Say you got like a week.
Let me think.
A week to think.
A week. A week to live. Let me think. What would be my last meal? Give me. I'll think of something good. See, I'm not really a fussy eater. I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
But what would be my last?
Anything I make you.
Anything my wife makes me. No, that's bullshit. Hold on. Let me think of something. Let me think of something. Hold on. I love steak. I love a bloody like a medium rare. Medium rare steak, but I mean that's not my favorite. I mean that's such a hard question for someone like that's not a picky eater, because you get people that are quite picky and they have favorite foods. Mate, this is really hard. Mate, see, this is a bit of a weird one, mate. But see, you've been at Manjaro's. You know Manjaro's, and you tried it, mate, in the Key.
No,
Manjaro's.
No, Manjaro's, no.
Yeah, well, they've got this it's like Caribbean food kind of, and they've got a dish that's called Rasta pasta, and is lovely, mate. You need to try it. Manjaro's Rasta pasta is. Oh no, sorry, mate, sorry. Rasta rice. It's the rice. It's the rice. The pasta's good, but mate, the rice is different.
It's just unreal.
It's different.
Different gravy.
It's unreal, mate.
I meant to ask
different gravy.
I meant to say, are you married?
Oh, I am. Yes, I am.
Mate, I never knew that. It's just when I heard anything your wife is, I was like, what?
Well, I got married on August the 29th.
August the
29th.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, just last year, mate. So it was a lot of changes happened for me, mate, last year. So I was got started a new job and then got married like 2 weeks before it. But it's yeah.
That's madness.
Married, man.
Did you get away on a honeymoon at all, or was it just?
Oh no, we went to Edinburgh. We went to Edinburgh for a wee city stay. Funny story before we finish off. So I booked a hotel that says the Edinburgh something like the Novotel Castle View or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I've went there. All right, okay, that's believable. They're gonna have this the Edinburgh Castle. It's gonna be near that. It was near that, right? But I got into the room and there's big full wall full of windows, right? And I opened everything. I looked out at everyone. I couldn't see a castle inside me. There was an old building across the street. So I'm like, I wasn't really that bothered about it anyway. Went to sleep. Then the next morning I woke up and see behind the headboard, it's a big, massive, the full size of the headboard, the full wall was like a big painting of the Edinburgh Castle.
Yeah.
Mate, we've been scammed. That's fraud, isn't it? That is a fraud. That is fraud. I felt like bringing it up to them and saying, "Well, is that the view? Is that meant to be the view?" But I was like, "No, what? I'm not going to argue. I'm just gonna check out, and we get home." But right, mate. It was good. It's been good to catch up with you, mate. It's been a while.
100%, Adam. Well, obviously, if you've got anyone that you think would be interested in that, forward them away. If they want to come on the show, it's obviously been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight, and all the best with the Fair Home Buyers business as well.
Aye. Thanks very much. Cheers, Blair.